and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother Howie, here for episode number 4 of our 3rd season, Howie. And the actual NHL season is getting closer by the moment.
Yes, it is. Days away.
Days away. And how you been this week? I hadn't talked to you all week. That sounds exciting.
It's been controversial.
It's been a controversial week. Why? What happened?
I don't want to get into it because this is going to piss me off. And
okay.
then I'll start ranting. And
all right.
But I spent most of my day yesterday at the undisclosed area puking. So
nice. Nice.
I didn't have quite enough to fill up the hole.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to hear about that.
But enough that by the end of the day I felt a lot better.
That's good. And how's our producer doing? Is he out working right now?
He is actually at work right now. They switched up his schedule. I think he's going to be working days going forward.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least that way your dogs will have company all the time.
Yeah. That'll be good.
That kind of works out.
Yeah, and also, as you know, I sent you a text about this. I still haven't heard back from my day job about having my days switched off.
Right, yeah, you talked about that.
So, I don't know what's going on that. So, that's still kind of up in the air.
Right, which could affect our schedule programming.
Right, by one day.
By one day, yeah, which is no big deal.
Instead of recording on Thursdays, it'll be moved to Fridays.
Yeah, but
what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
what I'm trying to do is get Saturdays off so that I can get both my dogs involved in flyball. And if you don't know what that is, maybe I'll post. I'll post a tweet out there with what it is. But it's basically a relay race for dogs, which is it's something I've wanted to do for a long time since I was back in Minnesota with my other dogs, but just never got a chance.
Do they wear uniforms?
They can, but they don't.
Okay.
I think that if they wore uniforms, it would slow them down.
Well, they can have are there is it team based?
Yeah.
So it's team based. Does the team wear all certain colors?
Yes.
Collars.
Yeah. No, not the collars. The handlers will all wear the same, like either polo shirt or t-shirt.
So the dogs don't match the team. Shouldn't they all have the same collar?
Well, basically, no one really wears a collar. Most of them wear either harnesses, or if they do wear something of the team color, it'll be wraps around their front legs to basically like wearing like something to.
Yeah. I get you what you're saying.
Yeah, because once they run down the relay field, there's like a box at the other end that they have to jump and hit, which is spring-loaded. That has a ball in it. The ball will shoot out. They grab the ball and then come back down the lane. And then at a certain point, you have to time it because then the next dog has to go.
Yeah, you sent me a video of it. It looked pretty interesting. So.
Yeah. It's I've always wanted to do it. It's just that the one cattle dog I had back in Minnesota, I couldn't get him into it because he had a bum knee.
Oh.
He actually had a pin in his knee, and it would go out every now and then. But I was watching a video over the weekend, and there was one dog, and this was at like a competition in England, and right off the start, before the dog even got to the first hurdle, it went down.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I was reading the thing on it. I guess its spine just basically exploded.
What?
Yeah,
Oh, poor thing.
yeah.
Wow. So do you have to? I guess that they have to go through some kind of training and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, depending on the dog, I mean, that you could take them. They could pick it up real quick. It could take them a few months, but for Mishka, my cattle dog, because he's only 3 months, he's not allowed to race until he's at least one. So
right.
for the next at least 9 months, if we get this started, he'll just be in training. But as soon as Lucky picks it up, he'll be able to race.
Wow.
But they
Well,
do competitions. They go down to, I guess, mainly down towards San Diego.
yeah.
They do maybe 5 or 6 competitions a year, and they're looking at doing maybe once a year doing out of state tournaments, either probably in Vegas or out in Arizona.
Huh. Well, you'll have to keep us up to date on that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, depending on what happens at work, if they get this thing set up for me, yeah.
All right. Well, we got to move forward because we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got our revealing of our picks for the Pacific Division today.
Pacific.
But first, let's go through some real quick hockey news. Starting with the retirement of Simon Gagne after 14 years. He has retired, and he will be missed. And he had a great career. Got bumped around probably the last 5 years or so. He's been all over, including the Kings. Yeah. And so, yeah, he will be missed.
And speaking of the Kings, they have, I guess, Voynov basically on his own decided, he's not going to deal with this whole trying to get back on the team because of the wife beating thing. So he's chose to basically deport himself, and he'll be heading back to Mother Russia.
Yes, and that opens up the spot that the Kings needed open, and now we can move forward.
Yeah.
So I'm
and then, speaking of crimes, I don't know what's going on with Kane, because it's I don't know. Chicago's supposed to hold, I believe, a press conference today about what's happening with Kane, because something's going on. They're trying to keep it kind of under wraps until this press conference, because I don't know exactly what's going on, but.
Well, I just saw today. I thought it was.
As soon as that comes out, we'll know.
Or it was today or just recently. I can't remember if it was yesterday or something about him. Looking for it right now. Expected to show up at camp. So.
Yeah, because well, he's going to be at camp, but the question is he going to play? Because I was reading another article. Basically, they kind of wanted him to stay away. So I don't know something's going on, but I don't know what.
It says Blackhawks announced Patrick Kane is expected to attend training camp, and that's basically all it says.
That's the latest then.
Let's see. I don't know. I'm looking for the date. 22 hours ago.
Okay, yeah, that's probably the latest then. But yeah, they're supposed to. I think today they're supposed to hold a press conference.
Yeah. And then not much other news. We did have the revealing of the New York Islanders' third jersey.
Don't like it.
Don't. I liked the design of the jersey. I didn't mind the logo. I didn't like.
I don't
didn't
even like.
mind.
I don't like.
I didn't mind the placing of the stripes. I didn't mind any of that. What really bothers me, but I understand why they did it. Because of the whole Brooklyn thing, and that's what the Nets are, and it's their whole new thing. But does it lead to them going to black and white and losing
Hopefully
their?
not. Yeah, because I mean the black thing is getting old.
It really is. I really wish the Kings would go back to getting their purple back in their uniform.
Yeah.
I still want to see the black thing.
I mean right now. I mean the only team I would really like to see go either bring either an alternate uniform in or go back to a permanent uniform which consists of the black is the old Vancouver V sweater.
Oh, the pajama uniforms.
Yes, those things are so ugly. I like them.
What about the gold ones? Remember their gold ones?
Yes, those two. Those I like of the two. I like that one best. I like
really?
that. Yes, that kind of like mustard yellow with that black
awful.
and orange.
That was awful.
That's why I like it so much because it was so damn ugly.
Those things.
I always wanted that jersey. Every time we'd go to Lee's skate shop, I looked for that thing and it was never there.
All right. So now, Howie, is our revealing of the Pacific Division. And this one was hard for me to do, but I did it the best I can. And I'm going to let you begin.
Picking my number one team was very easy.
All right. Well, we'll see when we get there. Let's start with number 7.
Well, I'm just going to say right out, I picked Vegas to be first.
Okay. So Arizona.
Oh, that's for next year, though.
Yeah, that's next year.
Yeah, so that's my prediction right off. For next year, Vegas, first place.
You got it. And Howie's locks.
It's a lock.
It's a lock. Howie's locked for the 2016-17 season. The Las Vegas, whatever they are.
Black Knights, I believe, is the rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rumor I'm hearing.
All right, your number 7, Howie, for the Pacific Division is?
My number 7 is a team I went to go visit this past season.
Yeah.
And that would be the Arizona Coyotes. Okay. I think they're going through that rebuilding stage, and I don't think they're really gonna have much expectations. And I think it'll be that way probably for the next 3-4 years.
Well, that could be. I agree with your pick.
Unless they move.
I agree with your pick. And they'll probably be the worst team in the league this year, I would guess. And so, yeah, their big concern moving forward is, their future on where they are now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're number 7. There's no more to be said about that.
Yeah, you know who I really like on Arizona, and I respect him a lot.
Who?
For staying there, is Shane Doan.
Yeah.
Because he stuck it out year after year after year of just crap.
Well, he is the
and
Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah,
and them.
Well, yeah. Well, he's the last original Winnipeg Jet.
That's correct.
But yeah, he's been there from day one, and even though a lot of players would have moved on because they want that opportunity to win that cup and make more money, but he's chosen to stay there.
Yeah, good for him. All right, number 6, Howie, is it's my turn. I picked a team. They kind of made some strange moves over the offseason. They do have some brothers on the team that are getting older now. And
wow,
yeah,
that's a big drop.
Well, and if Markstrom doesn't turn out to be their number one goalie in the coming near future, what are they going to do? What's their plan to go forward? What do they haven't really done anything for me. I think they're going to drop, and I have picked Vancouver as number 6.
They are getting old.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the modern Detroit Red Wings, but they just aren't that good.
Right, and they haven't really done anything to prepare for the future.
Yeah, I mean, even because like Detroit, I don't know. Detroit still seems like they're the same squad from 1990.
90? I was going back to the 70s. I thought the same guys were on there.
But before the Dion trade?
Yeah. No, after the Dion trade. Then they've just been the same since Detroit, then, the same guys.
Yeah, Detroit just seems like they've had the same squad from day one.
Forever. Forever. It's just the same guys. Okay. Who do you have for your number 6 pick?
My number 6 is probably a surprise just as much as yours is, actually.
Okay.
And mine, I think they've made not only changes on the ice, but off the ice. And I picked San Jose.
Wow. That is a surprise.
I think they're going through like a semi-rebuild right now. I just, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, that is a surprise. All right, number 5.
Number 5, I have this team was also still going through rebuilding, but I think they've improved a lot over the last couple seasons. I mean, they've kept getting number 1 picks and whatnot, and I think they're on that right track now.
Yeah.
They got a new head coach. I think they're going to be a team to be dealt with in the next few years. I think they're on that right track, and I think I picked the Edmonton Oilers finishing 5th.
Very good pick, because I too picked the Edmonton Oilers as number 5 as a team that's improving and probably the up and coming team in the next few years. Like you say, I think they're actually putting pieces in place now for the future, and they're going to be a team to reckon with in the future. So I have them at number 5. My number 4 team is they missed the playoffs again last year. They missed the playoffs. They will miss it again this year. They have gone through a lot of changes. But I think the West is turning into it's starting to get like the Central, though I don't think they're as strong as the Central is. But they're starting to get into a mix of teams that are improving too much, and I think they're going to fall to this position. Will be the San Jose Sharks at number 4.
My number 4, I have the Oakland Seals.
They still have the same players.
Yeah. And those white skates.
Yeah.
Now I have my number 4 is I guess the senior citizens of that division would be the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay. Which isn't bad.
No.
Okay.
Number 3.
Yep.
Number 3 is a team that actually they were a surprise from last year. I think they're going to stay on that track that they're on right now, and I think I don't know if they'll really improve much, but I think they're going to be going forward probably one of those consistently on the bubble, just squeaking to the playoff teams, and will just be one of those pain in the butt teams in the playoffs all the time. And that is Calgary Flames.
All right. My number 3, because I think that these last 3 teams are going to be tighter than what we think. I picked this team because they will make the playoffs this year. They did not make them last year. And I think that because they didn't make it last year, they're angered enough now to make it this year. And they're looking for a rebound. Now, because I have them at number 3 doesn't mean that they won't be number 1 or number 2.
Right.
That's how tight I think it will be between these 3 teams. But I've picked the LA Kings at number 3.
Yeah, LA. I think they're part of their problem last year. I think there was this with the Voinov thing, a lot of the off ice situations that were going on because you had that going on. And I think right towards the end of the season, you also had the issue with what's his name getting busted at the border with the OxyContin.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that played in the whole fact because, and that's the thing. I mean, you have to look at that off ice stuff. I mean, it's gonna fall in the locker room and affect everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why even like from 2 weeks ago, I picked Chicago finishing 5th.
Right.
I think a lot of this Patrick Kane stuff is gonna fall back in there.
Right. Well, I think that they could easily be number 1. They could be number 2.
Yeah.
But I have them at number 3.
Yeah. Just like even last year, I picked San Jose for that same reason. I picked them low because of the whole captain deal thing, and I picked that one correct.
Right. And now that Voinov is gone, maybe that will be enough to move them up. Maybe things will settle down now, and
yeah, I think now they could just focus on hockey and do their thing.
Right.
So number 2.
Number 2. Is that me?
Yeah.
My number 2 is a team that could easily be number 1 or number 3. They had an awesome second half of the season last year. And I see them doing pretty much the same thing this year. They're going to be really good. And that will be the Calgary Flames at number 2.
My number 2 is your Los Angeles Kings.
Okay. Which I can
like
see
I said, which I think like I said, a lot of that off ice stuff is done with. So now it's time to move on and just focus on the game.
Yep. Yep. Which leaves us down to our number ones, and it looks like we have both picked.
My number one is the team that I despise. I hate with a great passion. I think they should fold out of the league. I don't know what other way to describe my hatred for this team. Other than I actually like the Rangers better than them. I picked the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, and I too, for my number one, have picked the Ducks. But the thing is with the Ducks, they're going to be good, and they've got a lot of talent on the team. But they have shown in the past that if they don't peak right at the right time, they won't be number one.
Right. And I still think if they do falter, it's going to be their goaltending. Granted, their goaltenders are good, but I think a lot of it is solely based on because they're so deep defensively.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're going to be good.
They're good. Yeah, I think because their goaltending is too young. I just they're not as good as what they are on paper because of what is in front of them.
You're talking about their goaltenders aren't as good as on paper. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Well,
the goaltender's not as good as what it is. Because I think if you were to stick those goalies on any other team, or let's say an average team. I wouldn't say one of the weaker teams, but let's say an average. Let's say Calgary. You move those goalies to Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt Calgary would make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Calgary's better than you think.
Yeah, but I think Calgary, part of their thing, falls a lot on their goaltending. Where I think Calgary's goaltending is actually better than what Anaheim has. The only reason that Anaheim's looks better is because of what's in front.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you. I do think the Ducks have one of the best defenses in the league. And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's because I don't know. Where do you put Gibson in the scope of things?
I think he's average. I think he's
a little bit better than average.
I think I would put him up there. I mean, it's the same way. It's the same way I see Crawford in Chicago. I think Crawford is overrated. I think he's basically an average goaltender. And I think with some of the changes that Chicago made by keeping everyone under that salary cap, I think that will reflect and we'll see that in him this year because I think he's going to be less productive.
Well, what if you put him in the group of, say, San Jose's goaltenders? We got, they got Martin Jones and Niemi.
I think Gibson is probably better than, I would probably say better than Jones, but not as good as Niemi. And I would only give it to Gibson over Jones only because Gibson has more experience. Because he's been put into that role as a number one goaltender where Jones has just been playing backup the whole time.
Right. All right. That's another game we could play later on down in the season is switching players with other players.
Yeah. Now, did we go over as far as who we picked. I mean, obviously the top three from each division are going to the playoffs. But did we pick our wild card teams?
We did not pick our wild card teams. We will leave that for next week when we move into who's going into the playoffs. Right? That's next week, right? What is next
Yeah.
week?
We could do.
Wait, how are we doing it? What are we doing?
Yeah, we could do that next week because the season still hasn't started. So yeah, we could hold off on that till next week.
Right. So next week we'll reveal our Stanley Cup winners, right?
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, we're going to go through the playoffs, and
yeah,
that's where we're ending, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So after today, we'll have all our picks listed out on the website then.
Yep. And all you out there can vote on the Pacific Division winner. Or if you want to get even more detailed, send us an email or a tweet or whatever. So, Howie, do you have anything else to add before we move away?
Negative.
All right. So, we want to thank you all for watching and listening. You can catch us at www.thepuckdropshere.com. Send us a like on Facebook, or you can send us an email at Jon and Howie at thepuckdropshere.com. We are on Instagram. Tweet us at puckdrops. Right? Twitter.com at puckdrops.
Oh, and this was episode 4, correct?
That's episode 4, yeah.
I would like to dedicate this show then to our favorite number 4 player, Jerry Corab.
Oh, nice. I wish we could have him on the show. So if you're out there, Jerry, listening, we would love to have you on the show. So yeah, this goes out to Jerry Corab, the best king ever. Yeah. All right. So with that, everybody, we will see you all next week, and we will bid you all adieu.
See ya.